I'm sure it will come out on the second-hand market because some people wouldn't like it. Hey guys, my name is Alec. I'm a commercial product videographer based in Germany, and today I want to talk about my recent buy for my studio, which is this beauty, Astrhori 18mm probe lens, specifically designed for crop cameras. So we had already a Laowa lens, probe lens, which was making a lot of noise on social media, but it was never available for people who shoot with the crop cameras, APS-C sensor cameras. It was only for full-frame users. And of course, as a person who shoots all my videos on MFT system, I was waiting for something like that to appear. And hooray, here we go. So I already had a chance to shoot with this lens, and I did a couple shootings for a cosmetic brand and spending quite a few days with editing footage and working with this lens. I can give you my experience. Let's talk about positives first. So the biggest positive for me, it is a first available probe lens for MFT shooters like me. So people with crop cameras can now, especially those who do in product photography, now can enjoy doing all the tricks and cool stuff that people with the full frame cameras been doing using Laowa lens. Second biggest positive is the price. Currently, this lens costs 611 euro on the special action or special offer on their website with free shipping around Europe. I don't know how is it worldwide. I personally bought this lens around 630 euros a couple of months ago. So probably it's going to get even cheaper, or maybe it will come out in the used market. You can buy it for a super amazing offer. The third positive, of course, the packaging. Packaging is pretty solid. You have a nice transportation case, quite small, much smaller than Laowa. I'll explain a little bit later why. It has a decent protection to it. I wouldn't say it protects M on water. I would say definitely not. And the last positive, probably the most important one, is that it works. You can still make all the shots that you wanted to make with the probe lens. You can play, you can try all these interesting angles. You can try to replicate and mostly successfully replicate all the shots that's been done with Laowa to some extent. So in this case, in this scenario, it is success. Now let's talk about the negatives. And the list will be a little bit longer because I have a lot to say about it after these few shootings that I did with it. I would say I was a bit somewhat disappointed. But again, when I'm thinking back to the price, I kind of have nobody to blame. First of all, the model of construction. This lens consists from two parts, which are separate. As you can see, of course, even how it's transported, you can see that this lens is bigger than the box. So it has to be separated into two parts and being transported separately. Why is this a problem? The lock between the two models are pretty solid. There is no flimsy movement, nothing. So this is good. But what is not good, this is a macro lens. And macro, it means you're going to be shooting at very high aperture. It means this lens starts from 8 and goes up to 24. And of course, when you want to put something in focus, you would probably go directly to 24, 22. In this direction, you'll be on this side of the spectrum, especially when you're shooting something small. In this case, every small dust particle, every small speck that you get on the back side of the lens, on the front side of the lens, of course, going to be very, very visible, right? Especially the back side is vulnerable to this kind of thing. But thanks to this construction, we have two back sides. We have one back side of this tube, and we have one additional back side here. The people who designed this one, they designed the back side of the tube that way that the actual glass goes very deeply inside, and it's very, very hard to clean, but it's so prone on gathering dust. And then just get one tiny spot of the dust, you're gonna see it constantly, especially when you shoot something like a high-key video with white background or something, the specks of dust gonna be so visible. It took me more than once, around 20 minutes, to find something, to blow it out with air, even though this lens is new and I'm trying to be very careful with my lenses to keep it away from the dust and change it very carefully and such. basically every time when I'm going to be transporting this lens in the original case, you're going to be separating it into 2 parts, covering it and gathering dust. For now, when I'm using it in the studio, I just keep it like that. I don't separate it and just do like that just to save time. The second technical negative that I personally find very strange is this balance on this one. This part is very, very heavy. This part, on contrary, is very, very light. When you're shooting, of course, with this kind of lenses, it's very prone to shake. Even slight, minuscule shake can result in visible shaking in the video. Even the press the button of the shutter, this one will react. That's why I actually personally created some kind of rig to nullify this problem. But on the other hand, it would be nice to see if the Astrhori somehow thought about it and originally from designed, or provided some kind of manual for additional support with this one, maybe from below. That's why you probably need to do some handmade stuff, some kind of rig, or be additionally careful with it. Okay, while we continue further, I just want to say that before I bought this lens, I watched quite a few very enthusiastic reviews and nobody mentioned it. So the first one is sharpness. Yes, this lens is quite sharp in the middle, but much less sharp than Laowa and so soft on the sides. Even at 24 aperture, this lens is soft. So when you use it as directly as a probe lens, as a macro lens, as it has 2.0 magnification, then you are totally in a safe zone. But when you try to use it, probably you see some videos on Instagram how people use Laowa lens, and sometimes they use it as a normal wide lens, just normal lens, far away from the subject, to just for general shoots and things like that, very versatile. This one is not okay, because you're gonna lose much sharpness and you're gonna struggle with your additional things that I'll mention a little bit later. So the first one, which really got into my eye, is a color tinge represented. I don't know how it is. I'm not using the lighting. I'm not using the diodes that have been presented to this lens. I'm trying to control color temperature in my studio very strictly. And sometimes I shoot, of course, I must shoot with different kind of lenses, right? So when I put some shots made with this Astrhori lens and start editing them, compared to the other shots, they were visibly more yellowish. It is a problem of some kind of anti-glare layering on the lens or something else. I don't know what was the problem, but an obvious yellow tint. I'm not sure about every other Astrhori lens. I only have one copy of it. I've read on the internet some people are struggling with the same problem, so when you're gonna buy it, maybe you have ability to test it, test it. In the end, editing the video and you would like to stay consistent with the color representation, it adds additional layer of complications, and probably should maybe 10-bit at least, so you can have more flexibility with it. But yeah, this disadvantage I really didn't like. The other one is color contrast. Color contrast on this lens is very bad. It's like what you would expect from very cheap Chinese lens with no name brand. And lastly, I would like to mention the focus ring, right? It has pretty long way to go and feels quite smooth on one hand. So when you just take it in your hand, you're, would say, pretty happy with it. No, of course, it's not the most amazing focus ring that I held in my hands, but it's decent. But when you start using it, for some reason, it feels very shallow. You really need to take some time with it. So here we go. This is my experience with Laowa. Just one more thought before I finish this video. This company also creates lenses for full-frame cameras that cost around 300 or more. Sometimes I see it for 400 or more. So maybe those lenses are better. So please don't consider it a general review for this company lenses. And one thing that I forgot to tell you, this two-model construction of this lens, it has some additional kind of reason behind it. This company, Astrhori, creates two types of probe lenses, telescope lens and standard probe lens. And they sell this part separately, so you can buy, of course, this option or the other option, directly the telescopic one and buy this one as additional, so and then combine them. And if you closely in the carriage box, the company provided the place for two. Final thoughts. Should you buy this lens? I think if 600 euro is not a big amount for you, let's say you shoot an IPS-C camera and you know how to use the probe lens and you know for what specific shots you're gonna use it, and you have some other macro lenses that you can trust, and then go for it. But if you expect that it's going to be some versatile tool that you can shoot basically the whole commercial video with it and be very flexible with it and get to it very fast and adjust to it very fast and have an amazing kind of footage with it that doesn't need any kind of additional adjustments, then probably look for Laowa. That's all I wanted to share today. I have many other interesting things. I constantly want to search some kind of, cheap but practical equipment. So I'll be telling about it in the future videos and uploading much more. So please like, subscribe and follow, and see you in the next video.